You tell yourself the grind is temporary. Just a few more last nights, a few more skipped weekends, a few more energy drinks, and eventually the side hustle becomes freedom. And that's the dream everybody sells online. Wake up early, work your job, come home, build your business until 2 in the morning, repeat until successful. But what nobody talks about is the moment when the hustle stops feeling exciting and starts feeling heavy. Your brain feels fried, your motivation disappears, and even the things you once loved starts to feel like a second job you secretly hate. That's side hustle burnout, and it's quietly destroying a lot of people who thought they were doing everything right. And burnout doesn't happen because you're lazy. It usually happens because you've been pushing too hard for too long without giving your mind or body enough recovery time. A side hustle can start as something creative and exciting, but once pressure enters the picture, everything changes, and suddenly every free hour feels like it has to be productive. You stop watching movies without guilt. You stop relaxing without thinking about unfinished work. Even when you're technically resting, your brain is still running in the background like 20 browser tabs open at once. The worst part is that hustle culture makes burnout sound normal. People brag about sleeping 4 hours, like working nonstop and sacrificing everything for success, like they're collecting achievement badges in a video game. The problem is that humans are not machines. You can sprint for a while, but eventually your system crashes. And one of the biggest causes of side hustle burnout is unrealistic expectations. Social media makes success look fast. You see somebody claiming they made tens of thousands of dollars in a month selling digital products or flipping items online. But what you usually don't see are the years of failure, the stress, and learning behind the scenes that creates a dangerous mindset where people expect massive results immediately. When those results don't happen fast enough, they work even harder instead of working smarter. Another reason burnout hits so hard is because most side hustles are built on top of an already busy life. People are balancing school, jobs, family, responsibility, relationships, and financial stress while trying to build something extra on the side. There's only so much energy available in a day, and eventually something starts breaking down. And sometimes it's your sleep, sometimes it's your health, and sometimes it's your patience with people around you. And sometimes it's your passion entirely. Burnout also grows when your identity becomes attached to productivity. A lot of people start measuring their worth by how much they accomplish. If they not grinding, they feel guilty. If they are take a day off, they feel like they're falling behind everybody else. And that mindset creates constant pressure, and constant pressure slowly drains motivations. And ironically, the harder you try to force productivity, the less productive you become. Your brain needs recovery to stay creative and focused. And without recovery, even simple tasks start feeling exhausting. I just woke up from a 2 hour nap. I was going to record 2 hours ago. I felt tired. I'm like, I can't do this. I have to wait. I went and took a nap, come back and record. You got to worry about your own mental health first. That is top priority. And one sign of burnout is emotional numbness. You stop feeling excited when something good happens with your side hustle. A sale comes in, views go up, or progress happens. But instead of feeling motivated, you just feel relief for 5 seconds before worrying about the next thing. Another sign is procrastination. People think procrastination is always laziness, but often it's your brain trying to protect itself from overload. When every task feels stressful, your mind starts avoiding all of them. Burnout can also show up physically. Headaches, poor sleep, constant fatigue, low energy, irritability, and trouble focusing are all common signs. And some people push through these warnings because they think stopping means failure. In reality, ignoring burnout usually slows you down even more in the long run. A burned out person working 16 hours is often less effective than a focused person working 4. And the scary thing about burnout is that it sneaks up slowly. At first, it feels like dedication. Then it becomes obligations, and eventually it feels like survival. You wake up already tired. You dread opening your laptop. The hustle that once gave you hope now feels like a weight setting on your chest. That's when a lot of people quit completely, not because they lack potential, but because they've learned balance. Balance doesn't mean you stop working hard. It means you build a system you can actually maintain for years instead of weeks. One of the smallest and smartest things you can do is set realistic schedules. Stop trying to work every waking hour. Most people dramatically overestimate what they can sustainably handle online. If you already work or go to school full time, maybe your side hustle only gets 1 or 2 focused hours a day instead of 6 exhausted ones. Consistency beats intensity, and when intensity destroys your energy, another important step is separating your hustle from your self worth. Your business failing does not mean you are a failure. A slow month does not erase your value as a person. When your identity becomes completely tied to success metrics, every setback feels personal. And that emotionally pressure becomes exhausting. You also need boundaries too. A lot of people think entrepreneurship means being available 24/7, and in reality, endless availability creates mental exhaustion. You need time where you are fully disconnected from work. And that means no checking analytics every 10 minutes, no answering messages at midnight, and no feeling guilty for taking an evening off. Your brain needs moments where it is not performing constantly. And sleeping is another massive factor people ignore. Hustle culture treats sleep like an obstacle. But poor sleep destroys focus, creativity, memory, mood, and decision making. If you're sacrificing sleep every night, you're probably damaging the exact mental performance your side hustle depends on. Rest is not wasted time. Recovery is part of productivity. Another mistake people make is trying to do everything alone. Delegating, automating, or simplifying, tasks can reduce a huge amount of stress. Not every part of your hustle needs to be perfect, and some people spend hours obsessing over tiny details that barely matter while ignoring the bigger picture. Perfectionism is a fuel for burnout because nothing ever feels finished or good enough. Comparison also plays a huge role in burnout too. The internet constantly exposes you to people who seem more successful, more disciplined, and more productive. And what you don't see is the full reality behind these results. Comparing your everyday life to somebody else's carefully edited success clips is a guarantee way to feel inadequate. There will always be someone ahead of you. And that does not mean you are failing, okay? Sustained progress matters more than winning imaginary internet races. And sometimes the best thing you can do for your side hustle is temporarily step away from it. And that sounds backwards. Because I was doing 7 days a week videos on this site and all of my other YouTube pages. I had to cut back down to 5. Because mental distance can restore creativity and motivation. And people often get their best ideas when they stop obsessing over work for a moment. Constant pressure narrows your thinking, and recovery opens it back up again. And the goal of a side hustle should be improving your life, not destroying it. Freedom loses its meaning if you're constantly exhausted, anxious, or emotionally drained. And money matters, but your mental health matters too. There's no trophy for burning yourself into the ground trying to prove you can outwork everybody else. Real success is building something that supports your life instead of consuming it. The people who last the longest are usually not the people going hardest every single day. They're the people who pace themselves, adapt, recover, and stay consistent without completely sacrificing their well being. Burnout is not weakness, it's often a signal that your current approach is unsustainable. Listening to that signal early can save you from losing your motivation entirely. A side hustle should challenge you, but it should not make you miserable every day. If your grind is costing your health, relationships, happiness, and peace of mind, then the price may already be too high. Success that destroys you on the way there is not really success at all. A lot of burnout also comes from chasing too many opportunities at once. Somebody starts a podcast, launches a store, tries streaming, starts investing, uploads content daily, and answers every new trend because they're afraid of missing out instead of building one strong system. They spread their energy across 10 different directions until everything feels chaotic. Focus is underrated. One well managed project usually creates better results than 5 exhausting ones. It's also important to celebrate small progress. Most people delay happiness until they reach some giant milestone. But if your brain never acknowledges the progress, the journey starts feeling endless. Small wins help keep motivation alive during slow seasons where growth is not immediately obvious. Thanks for watching today's video. If you found value in today's video, please subscribe. Without you, I can't continue on this channel. I want to make sure that we build a subscriber base. And without the subscription base YouTube says I have to have, well, I can't grow any further. So if you found value, please subscribe. I highly appreciate every subscription. And also comment down below. I'll try my best to respond to you as best I can. And we'll see you guys on the next one tomorrow. check out these videos to the right. Could also help you as well. Take care. Have a good day.